This is a 2003 Honda CRV with a flashing D light, and I'm going to show you how to fix that.
And as you can see, there is a P0845 error in the programming. Now, I have not seen a check engine light with this. Some people may, and also that flashing D light that you saw in the earlier clip is intermittent. It'll come in and out, usually off more than on, but I've read that other people have it for a year, and it gets worse and worse throughout the year. And here, if we look up that programming code in our trusty dusty book, P0845 is the third clutch transmission fluid pressure switch. And I will put a link in the bottom of this video on exactly where to get a hold of that switch, and I'll show you where it goes. So this is the part that I ordered. I actually got it on Amazon. And it's made by SINS, S-I-N-S, at the top there. Part number is 28610-RAY-013. And this is the part for, I believe it's the Honda CRV 2002 through 2004 third fluid pressure switch replacement. And this part comes with both the washer and the switch. So this is the switch here. Looks like there's just one contact inside there, and the washer. In other places you need to buy both of them separately, and you do need to replace that washer with the switch. Alright, so I've seen other people with videos on YouTube on how to replace this switch, and the one person says you can remove the air filter, and it's right about down there on the air filter. That is actually the second clutch pressure switch. The third clutch pressure switch is down right where the arrow is. I didn't put that arrow on there. The previous owner of the vehicle did, to point out where the transmission fluid dip switch is, which is that yellow handle right down there. But if you look right beyond that handle, there's that black wire right in front of the handle, and the third fluid pressure switch is right below that black cable. And if you see, this is the battery here, so I'm going to go through the top, and I'm going to remove the battery and the battery bracket to get to it. I've heard other people can go down from underneath and remove the splash guard here and get in from under there, but I prefer not to do that. I'm just going to go through the battery area there. Seems like it's more direct, and if you look back down in there, you probably can't see in the video, but it doesn't look like access from underneath is ideal either. So I'm going to start by removing the battery. Now, before removing power from the terminals of your battery, you want to make sure that you have your anti-theft identification card in your glove compartment. Usually it is with your owner's manual or inside your owner's manual. This card has a code number that you need to enter into the stereo once you have the power turned back on again. And this is Honda, so we've got a 10mm wrench to loosen up the battery terminals, and you always want to start with a negative first. take that off and then move over to positive. And remove that. And there we are. And now we want to remove the battery bracket. And that's again a 10 millimeter. Alright, so now I have the battery out, and there's a little plastic housing that that surrounds the battery that just pulls right out. And I've got the bracket that holds the battery on. I've just got that out of place right here. Now there are 3 bolts that hold the battery bracket on. One there, and one down there. And I'm going to remove those with a 12 millimeter socket and extension. Now, before taking that final bolt out, I've decided I wanted to take these little brackets off that hold the cables in place. So I've just got a pair of pliers here and squeezing the inside of this one bracket, and that should release it. There we go. And same thing on this side over here. Oh, that one broke right off. Okay. And then over here, you probably can't see it, but there is a little rubber clip holding this bracket on, and there's a tab on this side of it. You want to pull that tab toward the front of the car and then push the bracket away, and that'll pop right off of there. So that's now off, and now I'm going to I've got one more bracket underneath over here, but I'm gonna take that bolt off because I don't think I can get to that without it. Okay, and I realize now that there is one more bolt right down in there that I've got to take off. I'll have to wrangle my hand down in there to get the wrench on it, but hopefully that's the last one. Alright, so wisdom is born from experience, and the only way to get experience is by doing. I ended up finding another bolt. So there was one right there where the light's pointing, and there was one right over there where the light's pointing. And there was also one more bracket, one more wire mount that needed to be removed, but it was just the same tab, pull the tab type of mount. So that right there, you can see there's the dipstick for the transmission fluid. That right there is the third clutch sensor on this car. So I am going to let's see, I'm going to pull that guy out of there. Now there's a little tab right on the end of that. That will pull the wire harness off. And I think I'm going to get someone else to hold the flashlight for me. And it looks like a 7/8 inch wrench is the ideal size for this switch. Alright, so this is the third clutch pressure switch right here, and don't know if you can see this in the video or not, but there is a little tab on there, and I push on the tab. I'll use the other hand here. Push on the tab and pull the connector out, And that's all there is to it. And now grab my 7/8 inch wrench, and I'll just slip it right over the top here and counterclockwise to loosen. There's the old switch, and it is dripping a little tranny fluid, so I'm going to get the new part ready to go here. And out the old. In with the new. Okay, so the new one's in there. Just tighten it up. And you don't want to kill yourself tightening it. Obviously, these are pretty small threads and easy to strip. And now we just put our connector back on there. Once I can figure out orientation. Hopefully you can see this. There it goes. Okay. And the new part is on. And I'm going to grab a rag and clean that up. Alright, so there's the new pressure switch in place. And it's pretty simple. I don't know if you could see that in the other video or not with the other camera. But there you are. I'll show you the old one here. This is the old switch. And you can see there's a little tab right there that the connector clamps onto. So you just push a little tab on the connector, and the connector comes right off. That's all there is to it. Now we just put the battery bracket back in and clear out that fault. So now looking at the bottom of this battery bracket, there's the battery bracket. Looking at the bottom where those bolts go in, and they're just notched. So I actually put those bolts back in before putting the bracket back in. That'll make it easier to tighten it all up. Alright, so now my bracket is back in and nice securely in place. It wasn't so bad putting it back in. So now I'm going to reconnect these connectors. That one goes right there. This one pops right on here like that. And then this one over here. Hard to hold a camera and do this at the same time, but if I can do it with a camera in one hand, then it's so much easier for you. Alright, so that's back in. Those two are back in, and this one here broke off, and I actually broke the other one off on that side too, but I'm not too worried about that. I'll just leave it be. So now put the plastic battery holder in, and put the battery in, and put the bracket back on, and we're done. Alright, so the battery is nice and securely in place. One when reconnecting a battery, you always want to do the positive terminal first and then the negative. So I'm going to tighten up the positive and then I'll put the negative on. So it seems that disconnecting and reconnecting the battery has wiped out that P0845 code. Once I've started it up again, I'll double check. But hopefully that'll take care of it. From everything I've read online, this is the fix for this, and I'll follow up with this in the notes of this video. And also I'm going to be putting a post together on frugalberry.com, which is my blog, which will have a lot more notes in it, as well as part numbers for different vehicles, for the Honda, the different years of the Honda CRV, and also I believe the Honda Accord also has the same problem.